Hello to all, and welcome back to April in the Kitchen. You guys read that title? Let's get into making this amazing smothered pork chops. Okay, you guys, smothered pork chops is what's on the menu today. I already have my pork chops already washed off, and I patted them dry. And I can go over the seasonings that I will be using. Gonna have some Himalayan salt, some Tony's, gotta have that. Just a little bit of the cayenne. I have the Mrs. Dash garlic and herb, black pepper, and I'm gonna put that sazon on it, baby. Okay, so first thing that I'm gonna do is gonna add a little oil to each of the pork chop, and the oil just helps ensures that your seasonings will adhere to your meat. So we're just gonna get some all over each piece. Okay, once you have your oil on, let's just go ahead and start with the Himalayan salt. Y'all season to your own taste. Just be mindful of your salt. Just a little bit. Gotta have this Tony's, baby. Get you some on there. Okay, I'm only gonna do a little bit of the cayenne, just a touch, just for a little added heat. Now I got my Mrs. Dash, the garlic and herb seasoning. Smothered pork chops. How often do you guys do this? We don't do it too often here. Everything in moderation. Sazon. Let's go ahead and get you some. That sazon just kick it up a notch. And I like to pat my seasonings in. Black pepper. Not too much. And that sazon gonna turn that pork chop a different, that yellowish color that let me hold it up. See how it done turned? Okay, so let's flip it over. We gotta season both sides. Why? Because we eat both sides. So we're gonna season both sides. And we're just gonna repeat the same seasonings on the other side. Black pepper, Mrs. Dash garlic and herb. This is salt free, you guys, so get you some. Sazon. That Tony's, baby. Yes. And now for the Himalayan salt. Now we just want to press it down. Make sure each piece is nicely coated and seasoned with your seasonings. Pull it up closer. See how that sazon done changed the color of it? That sazon adds a nice flavor to it also. Now I have my flour in a bowl, and what I like to do is I like to season my flour. So we're just gonna add a touch of Himalayan salt. All the seasonings that I use to season the pork chops with, that's gonna be the same seasoning I use to season my flour, minus the sazon. I'm not gonna put any sazon in my flour. Some Tony's. Now you know if that flour is seasoned right, baby, that pork chop gonna be seasoned right too. So y'all make sure y'all season the flour. Had Mrs. Dash, now some black pepper. And then you want to mix it up. Make sure you get a nice mix on it. Make sure everything's incorporated. Now at this point, before you put any meat in it, you can actually taste this flour and make sure it's seasoned to your liking. And whatever it needs or missing, go ahead and add it at this point. Okay, our flour has been seasoned. So now we want to get our pork chop in. And you want to take it. I give it a slight press in the flour. I take whatever's around it. Bring it over the top. Lift it. Make sure the flour is inside the creases and the crevices. Flip it over. See how that piece is like that? Make sure you get all those spots covered. Then I like to shake off the excess flour. Move it to the side. I'll show y'all one more, then I'll do the rest off camera. Take it. Give it a slight press. Bring up the surrounding flour. Make sure you get them corners. You might want to have to open it up just to make sure you're getting inside the creases of it. Press down. Shake off the excess. Now I'll go ahead and continue the rest of them off camera. We have our pork chops floured up. Now when y'all are finished with this flour, do not throw it away. We're going to use this to make the smothered pork chops with. So just sit the flour to the side. Now it's time to check our grease to see if it's hot enough to go ahead and put our pork chops in. Now what you want to do is you want to take a little flour and drop it down. You see how that sizzled up? That means the grease is ready for your meat. So I want to go ahead and lay my pork chop down. Lay the meat away from you, that way you won't have splatter. Be gentle and be careful because this is hot. I think we can get one more in there. Okay, we're gonna let these cook, and then I have this one more over here that we'll fry up also. Y'all hear that sizzle? That sizzle, my nizzle. These have been cooking about 4 minutes. Look at that color. Go ahead and give that one a flip. Check this one. We can go ahead and give that one a flip. Now you don't have to cook these all the way through because we're smothering these. So all you need to do is just make sure to just get a good fry on it. Couple of minutes on each side. Okay, you guys, these are ready to come out. I had these cooking about 4 minutes on each side. They're not done now, but we're gonna smother these, so remember that. They look good though, look at that. So we're gonna remove these, and I have one more pork chop over here that I need to drop down. Look at that. So I'm gonna cook this last pork chop and I'll be back. Y'all, I had to come in here and get y'all a close up of these pork chops. Look at that. Okay, you guys, so our pork chops have fried up. Remember I did those about 4 minutes on each side. Now it's time for us to work on our gravy. Now you take the flour that we had saved to the side, that we seasoned our pork chops in, and I'm gonna sprinkle a couple of tablespoons in my pan that I have heating up on the stove. What? You say no oil? Yes. I'm gonna show you guys how to do gravy with no oil, baby. Just continue to watch. Have my flour in my pan. Now you do want to keep an eye on this because it'll turn on you fast. So you just want to stir your flour, and I promise you, you'll start to see it change colors. And whatever color you like your gravy, that's when you add your water. But once it starts changing colors, I'll come back and show you guys. This is the color of the flour after about 3 minutes of cooking. See how it's changing? You just want to keep mixing it in. Make sure you get all the flour stirred around so each layer of it can go ahead and turn into the same color. So make sure at this point you want to stand by and keep stirring. You don't want to burn it. Don't burn it, y'all. Make sure you scrape the pot a little bit because it will stick on you. See how it's changing? And you just keep bringing the flour over and stirring. At this point, you want to go ahead and make sure that whatever stock you're using, make sure that it's warm a little bit so it won't bring the temperature down when you add it into your flour. So I'm going to be using some chicken stock. I just used some water and added a chicken bouillon to it, and then I'll be pouring that in once I get it to my color that I'm looking for. Look at that. See how it's changing? Just keep it stirred. And this right here, you guys, is the color that I'm aiming for. So now you want to go ahead and get in whatever stock that you're going to be using. Be careful because it's very hot and it will splatter. Okay, you want to get at a mix. And I'm going to be adding some more stock to mine. I added in 3 cups of the stock. I just took some water and added in a chicken bouillon. Make sure that flour gets in there and dissolves. You can use a whisk. Okay, you gotta season this up a little bit. I'm gonna be adding some garlic powder, my Tony's, of course, and some Himalayan salt. Season to your own taste, people. Stir it. Now I'm gonna go ahead and add in my pork chops. I have all my pork chops in, and as that pork chop cooks, it'll cook down and everything will be able to lay down in it. Now I'm gonna add in my onions and bell peppers. I just sliced mine up. They'll break apart as it cooks down, or you can just go ahead and just pull it apart like that. And I have this on a medium heat, and we're just gonna cook this down for about 30 minutes, you guys. Look at that. That looks pretty, and it smells so good in here. Let's mix this up a bit. And I'll come back in about 10 minutes so we can look at it. Look at that, you guys. This has been cooking for about 20 minutes. Your girl made gravy without oil. Smothered pork chops. Now you do want to taste this, check it for your seasonings, and if you feel like you need anything else in it, go ahead and add it at this point. Look at that, you guys. Look at this gravy. Look at that. You can just let this sit on your stove on low, and this meat will get super tender, fall off the bone. I just want to come in and show you guys this gravy. And if you feel like your gravy isn't thick enough, add a little cornstarch and water, make a slurry with it, and spread it around in the pan and mix it up, and your gravy will get thicker. This is homemade gravy, no oil. Smothered pork chops. Look at that. I wish you guys could smell my house at this moment, man. My smothered homemade pork chops. Y'all, look at that. Looks delicious. I hope you guys enjoyed this recipe. Y'all like, comment, and share. Hit that notification bell so you can be notified when I post any of my videos. Y'all know the vibe. Be blessed. the finished plate, you guys. Smothered pork chops. I decided to pair mine up with some rice, homemade gravy with no oil, and I'll be having a recipe coming soon for my turnip greens. Be blessed, y'all.